looking at the film from Sunday, I know that you guys, I've seen on Twitter a joke about Clyde being short, but does that add some kind of masking sometimes to some play fakes you can do that maybe the guys in the secondary can't see that you still have the ball or he has the ball and so on and so forth?
I'm sure it helps. I mean, it helps for him running the ball, being low to the ground, being able to use that power. And at the same time, I think he does get lost in the shuffle of things, especially with the big offensive lineman that we do have. But I think it's just a special skill set that he's really learned to use, and it showed well this first week.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick. I was wondering, in terms of using the two tight end sets that you guys normally do, just how much are you guys going to try to develop that over the next couple of weeks, getting Nick Keiser obviously more reps, and just what do you think that helps you in terms of a defense like the Chargers that likes to play a lot of cover three in the past?
Yeah, I think it helps that versatility. I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, we have a lot of great receivers, so we want to get them on the field as much as possible. But being able to use the depth that we have at tight end, being able to change up personnel groups, change up looks, I think it makes us versatile and makes us hard to prepare for. So I think Coach Reed does a great job of mixing that in throughout the game with still getting our best players on the field.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Pat, the way you guys attacked Houston the other night seemed like it maybe took some patience on your part to get that done. Number one, did it require patience on your part? And if so, do you feel like you're better at that kind of thing than maybe you were last year or the year before?
Yeah, I think it was funny. Chad and Matt both said it was one of my best games I played because they said I actually took the check downs and didn't just try to force it down the field when it wasn't there. And so it's something that I've learned from those veteran guys. I've learned from Coach Reed is, I mean, all of us want to go for the big shot. All of us want to go for the touchdown pass every single time. But if defenses are going to play us back and they're going to play us in coverage, I'm going to take the stuff underneath and let the guys make plays and find ways to score and find ways just to win football games.
Let's go to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick. I was going to kind of ask something similar to Adam, but what's just the mental acuity that you sort of had to gain over the years? Because I assume it's enticing to want to throw the deep ball, especially with the receivers and the speed that you guys have.
Yeah, I think it was just more reading the feel of the game. I mean, if you see, the defense was doing a great job of getting stops. And we had kind of got up on them early, and instead of trying to force that deep shot, maybe I just kind of used the guys underneath and moved the ball down the field and scored. And it's going to be times here and there where I need to take that deep shot. There was a couple in the game that I missed. The one to Tyreek early in the game, we ended up getting the first down, but maybe a chance to hit him on a big play. And then the one to Kels down the sideline where I threw the check down just a little too early. I mean, there was times where I could have taken that shot. I just got to know when and where to do it, and try not to miss them whenever I get the opportunity.
Let's go to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick. So looking at the Chargers this weekend, they really have playmakers kind of at every level of their defense. When you're looking at that defense, what stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, they just do it. They do a great job in their scheme, and they have a lot of great players that make plays. They played us really well last year, that defense, of holding us to some low numbers, stuff that we had been trending on getting better numbers and better scores and all that different type of stuff. But I think you see those pass rushers first off. I mean, they have a lot of pass rushers all across that D line. Added Joseph and the young Tillery kid is really playing well. And then you get to the linebackers, a lot of young talent there, and then the DBs. I mean, they have a couple Pro Bowlers, some All Pro guys, and so they have a really good defense, they have a really good scheme, and we have to do our best job of being within ourselves and going out there and finding ways to put points on the board.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. Two semi-related questions. One is, was it at all difficult for you to talk to Andy through the fog face shield the other day? Was that a little bit of a funny dynamic? And then I'll ask you the follow-up.
I saw it, but I didn't even notice it until after the game. I mean, you see it, but you're so into the game, you're not really focused on it. But I had already said something. We had to practice in the rain. I said he needed the windshield wiper, and he laughed about it, but it actually could have came into play the other day.
The other part is just obviously it was one thing to play at Arrowhead with a limited crowd, but it's really going to be something quite different to play in an empty stadium. And I wonder just what you think the differences are going to be between even how you use your voice or how you guys communicate.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be different. We had talked about it going into the season of having to kind of bring your own energy and going out there and executing at a high level. You know that with us, we usually bring our own energy, and we have a lot of guys that are rooting for each other. But like you said, you have to be able to change and very snap counts, very audibles, and that's stuff that we always have done. But you just have to really pay attention and really going into the details. And then at the end of the day, you just got to go out there and play the football the way you always play it, and hopefully that turns out into a win.
Let's go to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Patrick. Vahe just answered my first question I was going to have about the fans. Thanks, Vahe. But second, the other question I had, just the offense, did you feel was maybe maybe vanilla is not the right word, but just a little more basic when the game against Houston, and you can expand further with the Chargers, especially with an aggressive defense? Do you feel that's going to give you the ability to, try to open it up more, stretch the field more?
Yeah, I mean, we always go into the game plan with a very array of plays and different personnel groups. But as we got into that Houston game, we found stuff that worked early, and they were changing coverages, changing personnel groups a lot, and we wanted to make sure that we could play fast. And so we stayed with what was working, and we were able to go out there and win a football game. But I know Coach, he's always going to have plays in, and he's always going to have stuff in to try to attack the defense, and we'll try to find those best plays that we can run and go out there and score points.
Let's go to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick. I'm wondering, I get that the Texans were playing you a little bit differently, right, trying to take off the big plays, but I'm curious if your sort of risk-reward calculus is different now with, the defense proving, itself a little bit more, and you've got Edwards-Helaire in the backfield. I'm just wondering if there's less incentive to take those big risks, knowing that you've got enough to keep going.
Yeah, it just depends on the feel of the game. I think that's the biggest thing. If you saw us at the end of last year, you saw the defense playing well, and we were able to take what was there and win football games. And I feel like it was a great learning experience for me. But my nature always wants me to take that shot if I get the chance to. So trying to find that balance of when to go out there and when to take the shot and throw it deep and let these guys make plays, and when to just take what's there and move the ball down the field.
Got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Sarin and then Pete. Go ahead, Sarin.
Patrick, I know I've asked you many questions about fourth down and everything, right? We did it a couple of weeks ago. You had a chance to apply it. It came up. I mentioned to Coach that it really doesn't get talked about because you guys ended up, stretching out and winning decisively. But at that time, that game was very much in doubt. You had been stopped once. Just curious, what did it do for the team to go for it and to get it? And what was the conversation like about what play you were going to put into that?
I think the conversation happens during the week. I mean, we prepare for those situations during the week, fourth downs and in training camp. And Coach puts us in those situations. So whenever he calls the plays, we know exactly what we need to do, and we know how to go out there and execute. And if it's up to me, I would want to go for it every single time. And so I just try to stay out there as long as possible. And it gives us the chance to go out there and make it happen. We got to make it happen so that we get more chances later on in the year.
Let's go to Pete to close us out. Go ahead, Pete.
Pat, just a quick follow-up to Adam and Sam's points. Just how unnatural is it for you to fight that desire to throw downfield and throw guys open deep? And did you see any times on Thursday night's film where maybe you wish you would have in the other direction?
It's hard to say because you ended up winning the football game. The play to Kelsey, I think, was one that I hit the check down and we got like 6 yards, I think, but he was probably a touchdown if I just would have gave him a chance to make a play. The only thing is the next play, Clyde ran in for a touchdown, so it kind of worked out either way. And then the play in the early part of the game, I hit the guy for a first down on third down on the first drive of the game. So you kind of want to just keep the drive going. But whenever you get those matchups, especially with Tyreek, who's usually double covered, you want to make sure you go out there and attack them. And so just learning from that and trying to find the best ways to attack it during the game and the flow of the game.